The movie opens in the year 2065, when the world is on the verge of collapse and natural resources are nearing total depletion. There is a severe shortage of clean water, and farmlands are so contaminated that they have become largely deserted. In the U.S. Midwest, we meet a married couple, Hen and Junior, who have made a modest living in a remote old farmhouse. However, their marriage appears far from happy, and Hen narrates how her husband no longer notices her, as if he has replaced her with someone else. We also learn that the farm has belonged to Junior's family for 5 generations, and all his relatives are buried there. He wishes to spend the rest of his life there, while Hen longs to go out and explore the world, which is also placing a strain on their relationship. One night, Junior wakes up to headlights shining on his face and realizes that someone has arrived at their home. The couple is confused because they never get visitors, especially at this hour. Junior then grabs his shotgun, but Hen tells him to calm down and says the man must be lost. Moments later, a man on the other side calls the couple by their names, which shocks them. He states that he is from the government and means no harm, after which the couple finally lets him inside. Once inside, the man introduces himself as Terrence and reveals that he is representing a company named Outermore, which is part of a government space program. He explains that their corporation is working on a climate migration strategy for a space settlement and claims there was a lottery in which Junior was selected. The government plans to build a settlement in space since the Earth is on the verge of collapse, so they are planning to send a small group of people for viability verification. Upon hearing this, the couple is shocked and immediately refuses, as Junior doesn't want to leave his home and wife alone. He asks what will happen to him if he refuses, and Terrence tells him that he will be treated like those who resist the mandatory draft and end up in prison. He explains that this would be a great opportunity, as Junior would become part of making history for mankind. However, he also states that the mission will not take place for another year or two, so the couple still has enough time. Afterwards, Terrence prepares to leave, but not before telling Junior to take care of his wife, which the latter finds weird. Later in bed, Junior asks Hen if she knew Terrence because he finds it strange that she already knew there was a man outside even before hearing his voice. Hen claims that she just said it impulsively, after which she asks him to sleep in the guest room, to which Junior reluctantly agrees. The next morning, after Junior leaves home, Hen approaches the basement where she notices a covered piano. It turns out she loves playing it, but for some reason her husband doesn't like it. Later, the couple is seen resuming their usual routine, and they seem very distant. We learn that their farm doesn't grow anything, and they have to work outside to make a living. After work, they meet up at their farm and try to make small talk. Junior thinks Terrence will forget about him and won't return, but Hen is convinced he will come back. One day, while they are working on the farm, Junior notices Hen's shirt and asks her not to wear it anymore. He says she was wearing it the day they met, and he doesn't want it to get worn out. A surprised Hen asks what else he remembers about that day, and he states that they were happy. That night, Hen approaches Junior in bed, and they finally make love after a long time apart. In the following days, we see that the couple is beginning to mend their broken relationship, and they seem very happy. Hen also resumes playing the piano, and her husband no longer objects. Everything seems to be going well for the couple, until one day, Terrence unexpectedly shows up at the house. He informs them that Junior has been officially chosen for the space mission and will leave in 2 weeks. To make matters worse, Terrence reveals that he will stay at their home for the 2 weeks to conduct interviews and observe Junior. The angry couple tries to protest, but Terrence makes it clear they don't have a choice and tells Junior that he will be rewarded handsomely by the government. This leaves poor Hen heartbroken, so she goes to her room and begins throwing away her husband's belongings, since he's going to leave anyway. However, Junior calmly comforts her and states that they still have 2 weeks left, so they must make the best of it. The couple then notices a beetle in their cupboard, and Hen asks her husband to kill it. But, to her shock, Junior says he has never seen anything like it before, and begins petting the insect. The next day, Junior is at his job, but he misses his wife very much and leaves. He arrives at Hen's workplace and suggests they run away and spend the rest of their day together. She agrees, and they go to a dried-up lake for a walk, after which they make love in an empty field. They then run around the field like children and enjoy each other's company. In the evening, they notice a horse roaming around the field, so Hen begins petting it and wonders where it came from. Meanwhile, Junior sees smoke rising in the distance and starts running toward it. He then notices a barn burning down and, shockingly, rushes into the fire for some reason. Fortunately, he is saved by several local people before anything bad can happen. Sometime later, Junior wakes up at home and discovers that he has dislocated his shoulder from the fall earlier. Hen tells him that some local residents were burning the old barn and asks why he ran into the fire, but Junior has no explanation. Terrence accuses Junior of intentionally harming himself to avoid the mission and warns him that there is no way out. That night, while the three of them are having dinner, Terrence drops a bombshell and reveals that while Junior will be away on the mission, he will be replaced by his AI clone. He explains that since the mission might take years, Hen will need someone to accompany her. The couple finds this idea ridiculous, but Terrence insists that it will help keep their marriage intact. An annoyed Junior threatens to hit him, but Hen quickly slaps Terrence across the face, after which both she and Terrence start laughing. The next day, Terrence once again tries to convince Junior about the AI clone, and after some careful consideration, he finally agrees. Terrence then decides to observe Junior and study him for the next few days so they can create a perfect clone, exactly like him. In the following days, he accompanies Junior to his workplace and collects data on how he works and interacts with others. He also gives him physical and psychological tests to ensure Junior will be able to endure the harsh conditions in space. However, during this time, Terrence secretly interviews Hen without her husband's knowledge. One day, Junior discovers a tape recording hidden under the bed in which Terrence is asking Hen about playing the piano in the basement. She explains that Junior dislikes her playing the piano because he fears what her music represents. She reveals that when they first met, Junior admired her free spirit, but after they got married, everything changed. Terrence then asks her if she wants the loving and supportive Junior back, and Hen replies, yes. One night, the three of them are having drinks. Junior is trying to stay sober, but Terrence and Hen are getting drunk. They then start singing together, which irritates Junior and sparks jealous. Later, Terrence puts a metal bracelet on Junior that he cannot remove, explaining that it is to track his vitals. He then begins asking questions about Junior and Hen's intimate life, saying that the clone must know this information. However, Junior finds this extremely inappropriate, and he begins punching the wall with his hand, causing it to bleed. Hen hears this and rushes to the room, but Terrence closes the door, as he wants to observe how Junior handles his anger. After a while, Junior finally calms down and takes a shower to clean up. The next morning, while the couple is in bed, Junior tells Hen that he no longer wants to stay on the farm. He explains that when he returns, he wants them to move somewhere else and have an adventure like she always wanted, to which she agrees. In the afternoon, Terrence leaves with Hen, leaving Junior all alone at home. Sometime later, he notices strangers running around his farm, which alarms him. Junior grabs his shotgun and starts firing at them, forcing the people to retreat. Just then, a spaceship appears out of nowhere, and he angrily fires at it as well. However, Junior is suddenly struck by a man who attaches a blinking device to his neck, causing him to lose consciousness. At night, Junior wakes up in the field, and the device on his neck is still blinking and causing him pain. He then returns home, where he hears Terrence interviewing Hen in a room. Junior watches them through a peephole and notices Terrence asking Hen what she wants. She reveals that she wants the courage to let go of everything and go out instead of staying trapped here. She states that she has always dreamed of running away after leaving Junior a blank letter. Upon hearing this, poor Junior begins crying and suddenly barges into the room in anger. He accuses Terrence of trying to steal his wife and says he doesn't even believe there is such a thing as an AI clone. A worried Hen tries to calm him down, but the stressed Junior soon ends up unconscious in her arms. The next morning, Hen cuts her hair and changes into a new dress. At night, Terrence arrives with Junior, who hugs his wife and expresses how much he missed her. Terrence and Junior then go to the living room, where we see the clone lying on the floor, surrounded by Outermore employees. In a shocking twist, we learn that the Junior we have seen throughout the movie isn't actually the real him, but a clone. When Terrence first visited, the real Junior had already left for the mission, and when the headlights shone on the robot, it was activated for the first time. This explains how Hen seemed to know Terrence beforehand, and why she was distant from her husband after that. Next, Terrence approaches the robot and informs him of the truth, that he isn't actually a real person, but a clone. The reason he was lied to is that the government wanted to test his full capacity and functionality. The poor robot refuses to believe this and begins screaming and crying, so Hen can't stand it any longer and rushes to him. It turns out that she has actually fallen in love with the robot version of her husband, and she holds him while breaking down in tears. The two express their love for each other, while real Junior watches everything in shock. Hen begs them to spare her beloved, but the Outermore employees drag her away from the house. After this, the robot is wrapped in a plastic bag and is powered off, while Hen is left devastated and grieving. In the next few days, Junior and Hen try to resume their normal life and rekindle their relationship, but it isn't easy. She misses her robot husband deeply and struggles to adjust to the real Junior, who is very controlling and angry. One evening, while they are having dinner, he accuses her of cheating on him while he was away. She tries to justify it by saying that this wasn't an affair, since she saw his good sides in the robot and fell in love with him all over again. She also says that he can't stay trapped in this place and suggests leaving, but Junior just refuses and yells at her. Moments later, it begins to rain outside, and an excited Hen rushes out to dance in the water. It turns out they got married on a rainy day, so it reminds her of that beautiful moment. She invites her husband to join her, but he accidentally stumbles on the ground. He angrily yells at his poor wife, who was just trying to revive their love. This seems to be the final straw for Hen, and she realizes that their marriage is now beyond repair. She heads inside and starts playing the piano, but soon becomes frustrated and smashes it in a fit of rage. The next morning, Junior wakes up and can't find Hen anywhere, but he notices a blank letter she left behind, implying that she has finally run away. This leaves him utterly distraught, and he begins searching for her throughout the town, with no success. While he is away, Terrence visits the house and sees the destroyed piano, which makes him realize what happened. That night, Junior is sitting alone when suddenly a headlight shines from outside, and surprisingly, Hen returns home. But she is completely changed, and she looks affectionate, submissive, and happy. She promises that she will never leave him and holds his hand, which pleases Junior. In the following days, we see the couple once again rekindling their relationship, spending their time making love, drinking, and dancing. One day, while they are enjoying their time together, Hen suddenly notices a beetle in the sink and watches it with curiosity. She begins to pet it and says she has never seen anything like it before. This leaves Junior shocked, and he realizes that the woman with him is not his real wife, but her clone. However, he decides to accept this new reality and enjoy his life with the perfect wife he always wanted. The movie then ends as we see the real Hen on a plane and looking excited about the new chapter of her life. Subscribe, like, and comment, and watch this one.